welcome everyone to the All About Nothing podcast, kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast. You can find me across all social media at Barrett Gruber. With me is Brock, who is the coordinator of the Soda City Comic Con here in Columbia, South Carolina, coming up August 22nd and 23rd here at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. So we are less than a week away. Tickets available. Any VIP passes still left for this event?
Yeah.
How many?
But they will sell out. They will sell out before Saturday. So if you're interested, get your VIP, and you'll get a bunch of cool stuff like we've got. Comes with a 2-day pass. Comes with a bag. Next Monday when we go live, or maybe we go live between then, I'll have one kind of assembled, and I'll be able to pull out and show everybody what's included. There we go. It's strong. The game is strong.
Brock, of course, still single and available. There.
Absolutely.
There. I guess just real quick, if you want to participate in the show, you can chat with us on YouTube, Twitch, or, Facebook failed. I don't know what happened with Facebook, but Facebook failed. So can't do it on Facebook. You can find links at the top of our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Let's get into it. Brock, you sent me something.
Yeah, pull it up.
Do you want to tease this a little bit, or
no? It's just one of those things that when you're doom scrolling and you're just killing a little bit of time because you're singing a man about a horse, and you just happen to come across a video that you just think that you know what, I think my Facebook friends should see this, and so you send it out to them. And I wanted I wanted you to see it, and I wanted the viewers to see it, because I think the reaction is just the whole video just works, and it's about 15 seconds. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Watch the landing. Bam! Stuck it. Watch this. I saw this and I'm like, I had to watch it twice. Yeah, let it go again. Watch it. Watch it spins. The air lands. Oh, he lands on the 3-point. Takes the play. Just throws it. Olympic level.
That is a beast.
That was decathlon type athleticism. I mean, does the double drop kick, spins midair, catches himself in the 3-point stance, grabs the bike, and throws it like a shot put, and got great distance. And I know you're going to say this is AI. I don't think so. I think that guy's a beast.
I am probably the last person to determine whether or not something is AI.
I don't think so.
I don't have it in me.
I just saw that and I'm like, that is quality. And I sent it to Steve, and his response was, damn. There's just nothing else to say to it. You're just like, holy cow. And it still would have been awesome if he had just drop kicked it.
Yeah.
But I mean, to do the spin halfway through, land the 3-point, take the bike, and just throw it like that. And I mean, that bike must have been 18 feet up in the air, and he probably threw it 30 feet. I mean, that is not a guy to scuffle with. No. I'm good, dude. You know.
No, if I catch enough vertical to go horizontal to plant somebody in the face and in the chest.
Yeah.
To take them off their bike.
That guy's flying backwards like
this.
He's
but to be the guy doing the kick, I have to assume that I would not recover enough to be able to pick up a bike and throw it up a hill. It's just not in me.
He chucked it, and I was just like, you know what? Let's start the show off with that, because that's the way to start it off with a bang.
That's fair. You're preparing, I guess. Zach and I are going to be bringing back the What the Pod Was That here in the fall, after the November elections.
Released from prison?
He is, in fact. He will be with me next week at the Soda City Comic Con. Fuck, I think I like saying coastal a lot, and Wilmington is amazing as far as a city to go visit. So am I going to be relieved? Am I going to be sent to purgatory? No. He's going to come back and do shows with me, because his schedule has worked out. So he is going to be coming back to do regular episode releases. So the kind of Daily Show, no, you are here and good to go. The South Carolina special Republican primary election was yesterday. We have the results.
You survived.
I did survive. I did the roving for it. It was a unique experience. I think that I can honestly say that I like it better than clerking because I don't have to do any interacting. Truly, I don't have to do any interacting with voters, which is nice and good for them too, because I'm a lot to deal with. But yeah, no, it was great. I drove a lot of miles. My territory was, I had 9 different precincts and they were very spread out. So I'll just say I did a significant number of miles on the car yesterday. A whole tank of gas was spent doing all the driving I did.
Are you a special employee or contract employee for like Lexington County Election Office? Or...
Yep, under the Election Commission for Lexington County.
Okay.
So it was, and I've been doing, I was a poll worker and clerking since 2020. So the November 2020 election was the first election that I worked as a clerk or a supervisor for the elections, and I enjoy it. It's exhausting. I mean, you're talking a day that starts at 5 a.m. potentially. If you get to your precinct early enough and you start setting up to make sure everything's going to work and taking care of everything's online, ready to go for 7 o'clock poll opening, it is an exhausting day. It lasts. You're not leaving your precinct any earlier than 8 o'clock to go back to an office where you then have to check in all of the paperwork. You have to check in all of the devices and everything. And then that's when the counting officially gets loaded into the system that gets reported to the state. It wasn't very late last night before we found out that Darlene Graham and Representative Ralph Norman have secured their spots in the runoff for South Carolina's U.S. Senate seat. Lindsey Graham's own sister, who was, of course, appointed to be the senator by our outgoing governor, Foghorn Leghorn. I almost messed that one up. But yeah,
Leghorn, Foghorn.
Yeah. So Graham pulled in about 32% of the vote. Norman finished with about 25% of the vote. So they were about 8 points apart. Mark Lynch, who was my guest on the episode that released this week, he came in with about 6% of the vote. So
third.
Yeah, Russell Fry did finish third. I can only confirm that the curse of the All About Nothing podcast guests is still holding hard and true. So hoping that breaks sometime soon, because I've had some candidates on that I would really like to see win an election. Either that or they.
I've won 2.
Well, yeah, but you have you won? Yeah, you won. Yeah, but we weren't talking about your election. We weren't talking about your campaign.
Yeah, it's not super exciting.
That's what I need to do. I need to have guests on and talk about everything except for their campaign. That would probably do them all very big favor. So Graham was sworn in as South Carolina's interim senator just less than a month ago. She's fighting now to keep her seat. One of the questions that I heard a voter ask when I was at a precinct yesterday was, does that make her the incumbent? And according to the definition of the word incumbent, it does not. She is not the incumbent because in order to be an incumbent, you have to have had won an election. So at least as far as the discussion, I didn't interject in the discussion because I had no intelligent input for it except for side eye, I guess.
I know on some of the news reporting companies, they have a little asterisk beside her name.
Yeah.
It shows her as the incumbent. I actually didn't know that. I would have assumed that the answer was yeah, because she is the sitting acting senator.
Well, and to your point, so when Tim Scott was elected after being appointed by, I guess it was Tim Scott was appointed by Haley.
Yep.
And he was appointed by Haley with 2 years left on the term? Like, so he was in there for I can't remember, because who was it? Dement that gave up his seat, and
Yeah,
then
he worked for the Heritage Foundation.
yeah. So, oh yeah, well, great organization. Sarcastically, he said, to make sure that the transcript picks that up, because context and it does not get that.
I also think there was a million reasons per year for him to go work for them. So.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
You can't necessarily fault him for that.
Well, and he's, he was one of the he was part of the authoring of the Project 2025, so we can thank him for that, I guess. Again, he said sarcastically for the transcript. But yeah, I don't know that Tim Scott wasn't the incumbent, because they're still describing this Senate seat election in November for South Carolina as an open Senate seat. So I guess I'm not exactly sure. I just always assumed in order to be an incumbent, you had to have won an election that you are now defending. And that was, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Do you want an update on the Trump reflecting pool?
I mean, no, but I did read that the DOJ had dismissed charges.
Yeah.
Against the Olympian for alleged vandalism, and that the lead attorney, Janine Pirro, or whatever, I think she's the district attorney for
Washington, D.C., yeah.
The prosecutor for that district. They've determined that shoddy workmanship, big shock, right, is the reason that the repairs, renovations, whatever you want to call them, failed. Not somebody went with a razor knife or some sort of blade and sliced a 300-foot section out of this reflecting pool, which, if the pool had water in it and it wasn't like a thinly stretched plastic, like a plastic lining of a pool,
right,
you probably couldn't get enough force in the water to even cut into something. I mean, it'd be a lot of resistance in the water. There's a reason they have things like water aerobics and water sports to train, because there is resistance there. You can't just slice, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees style and just cut up all the stuff. It was just shoddy work, no bid contracts, and you got what you paid for. And it should have never been monkeyed with in the first place. So
I'd like to say we didn't get what we paid for, because
they did. You went with a friend who just slapped it down and didn't know what they were doing, and you got what you paid for. Should they, should they be sued? Yeah, but whatever. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Trump wants a win, sue his friend that's the contractor that he paid, that essentially we gave $17 million to upgrade the pool. Like, it's a concrete bottom normally. Like before all the work was done, it was a concrete bottom. Yes, there's stuff.
Bottom. Even if you paint it's still a concrete bottom.
But there's always stuff that potentially grows in this reflecting pool, because I mean, Washington D.C. is a swamp. I mean, I know you want to get swampy politicians out of it, but the place is literally built on top of a swamp. So the water is, I don't care how much filtering you do, but the whole thing was designed, based on what I've read, the whole reflecting pool was designed to slowly drain out, and and then of course rainwater and city water replace the water that's slowly draining out. But that's the whole purpose of it. It's just supposed to refresh itself, and it's not necessarily bad for algae to be growing. I mean, we have algae growing in all of our ponds. I don't know. The whole thing, again,
put some fish in there that eat the algae.
Yeah.
Put some fish in there.
Here, and ultimately, here's the problem behind putting fish in there in the summer. That the water temperature of the reflecting pool, regardless of whether it's got a blue liner on the bottom of it or not, the temperature peaks at like 100 degrees or 95 degrees. Like the water temperature gets hot because the thing is shallow. Yeah. So you're gonna grow algae. You're gonna kill any fish that are in there. They're gonna die from the heat. I used to work over on the side of town. I guess on the east side of town, and we had a pond that was outside of our office, and we were directly adjacent to a company called Pure Fishing, which is the company that actually builds the Ugly Stick, the fishing rod. Yeah, I'll give them a plug bell. But so they did research and development out of that office, and one thing they do is they'd come and stock that pond with fish, and then they'd come out and test their fishing rods. And in the summer months, like we're in right now, the smell from the dying fish that would just float to the top, because it wasn't deep. It was like 2 feet deep. The smell was awful all summer long. It was a terrible experience to be sitting in an office just directly adjacent to this little pond. But Trump apparently recently just acknowledged that there was no video or proof of alleged vandalism to the pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Shocking, right?
no kidding.
America gasps.
I think it was
no proof or evidence.
I think it was yesterday. So Taco Tuesday. It's Trump. That's what's going to happen.
You know what? I like tacos.
I do too.
I
got a great place around the corner that on Tuesdays does $1.50 tacos. They are fantastic tacos. A little salsa added to them. They're really good.
Well, Wall Street also likes taco too.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of money. But are you done with your fish story?
No, please go ahead.
No. I'm saying because it's a great transition to what I want to talk about.
Okay.
So we can give a little bell. Oh, look at you drinking a beer, you big boy. So
not a sponsor.
There is a Facebook gentleman. I don't recall his name. Doesn't matter. He's a British guy, and he has a Facebook page that I follow called Tinned Fish Review. And what he does is he does exactly what the title expects. You would expect from reading the title. He reviews tinned fish. And so I've watched him for a month or two, and I find it just very interesting that he will get these various tins of fish and mussels and sardines and anchovies or whatever, and he does about a 2.5 to 3 minute review of eating these things. And so I'm like, you know what? That's very interesting. I've also learned that it's a very European thing, that there's not a lot of tin. I mean, there's tinning and canning in the United States.
Sardines, anchovies, yeah.
But more specialty type stuff is very prominent in Europe, especially your Scandinavian areas, which tends to make sense. They have a lot of coastline.
I don't know that I like where this is going.
It's not okay. Well, be that as it may, my daughter and I started watching this guy, and he has a very particular saying: "Let us decant the tin," where he empties the tin onto the plate. Then you see the fish. He tastes it. He reviews it. He squishes it. Talks about it. He has a dog that helps him, King Arthur. And again, he's a British guy. Anyways, so he was talking about this one particular canning company in Norway called Fishwife. Well, I just happened, and it's a woman-owned business. You can give them a little ding too. And so I just happened to be in Earth Fair, and I was shopping as my bougie ass would be in Earth Fair. And I just happened to see this on the shelf.
Oh.
And it is a can of fish, smoked salmon with Sichuan. I think I'm saying that right?
Sichuan, yeah.
Sichuan chili crisp. I'll hold this to the camera.
Okay.
So you can see it. And it's $17.95. It was not cheap, and damn, that's kind of expensive. But then I realized, responsibly raised in Norway. Okay, so they say fish can't fly. Yes, they can, and no pun intended on the can either. So lovely box art. So we took this out, and I like salmon, and she likes salmon, and I said, you know what, we're going to try this one. And we had another one, tuna, albacore tuna. It wasn't that good. It was like $7.95, so it wasn't that good. But this one was $18. And so again, lovely box art. Says, what's it say? World's tastiest tin fish. Okay, so you got all this cool box art here. So as the viewers can see, the box is empty because we opened it and decanted the tin, and then we tried it, and I shit you not, it was unbelievably delicious, fantastic. if I'd have had 4 tins, I'd have eaten $80 worth of salmon right then and there. So good. I mean, it's clearly a special treat.
Sure.
Because you're only getting 3.2 ounces. There was like 3 chunks of salmon, but the salmon was smoky and they had a little sweet heat attached to it with the chili flakes or whatever it was, like chili crisp, I think it said. Yeah, chili crisp. The sauce, and the people that know me know that I love a good sauce. I mean, you kind of have to like sauce if you're raised in the South.
Hey, when
sauce, different versions of barbecue sauce, vinegar is the best. We're not having this discussion. Moving on from that, honey mustard. Some people like Alabama white sauce. I do not. Branch versus blue cheese. I mean, again, lots of different sauces. Balsamic on tomatoes and mozzarella, whatever. So the sauce was, I mean, it's a 10 out of 10. It was unbelievably delicious. And that was something we did over the weekend that was very exciting. Again, Fishwife, smoked salmon with Sichuan chili crisp, fantastic 10. If you like tinned fish, try that one. Worth every penny. Wouldn't recommend eating a lot of them or you'll go broke, but it was fantastic treat.
Well, do you want me to tell you where I thought you were going with that?
I was actually going to ask you, where did you think I was going? Because I'm sitting here looking at this box and I'm like, we're going to talk about this can of fish.
Well, I know that at one point we discussed that there was a hole in the schedule for the upcoming Soda City Comic Con on stage.
Yeah.
And I thought,
a hole in the stage. There's a hole in the schedule.
Yeah, there's a hole in the schedule. There's a hole. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
I thought that you were potentially
acne holes and put it on the stage. They're like, don't step in the hole.
Speaking of which, Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, that movie looks like it's going to be fun. No, I thought that you were going to potentially suggest for an hour or potentially for a segment in that hole, potentially having Zach and I try canned meats on stage.
I need you the whole day. I don't need to put you in the stall and you can't come out.
I'm just saying that's what I thought my fear was. I tell you what I did over the weekend. I got a tattoo freshened up. I got it covered and freshened up. And
is it where you can show everybody? Or
yeah. So
wow.
Yeah,
Is that Dr. Doom? Or?
No, it is. So it is. Oh. It is my Atlian tag, my ATLian tag for Outcast, of course, on a hatchet with some leaves. And I would like to shout out the toy shop over in Lexington, South Carolina, near Red Bank.
Tattoo shop.
Yeah, the toy tattoo shop. Thaddeus is the one who did the artwork, and I think I can honestly say that I have probably found my permanent tattoo artist. He was fantastic.
So, if you got it done over the weekend, we're talking 3-4 days ago.
Yeah,
it's already healed and ready. No.
It is not yet healed. It is still receiving constant tattoo lotion after the fact.
I thought you had to put like a Vaseline or some sort of moisture.
Creams,
and then you wrap them or keep some sort of like cellophane or some sort of plastic to hold in the moisture.
Yeah, I use large non-adhesive bandages, and I put the tattoo after tattoo lotion on it, and then I put a non-adhesive patch on it, and then I wrap it with just a self-adhesive. I keep hitting the microphone. Self-adhesive wrap, so that mostly it's to keep it moisturized overnight, but it's also keeps I mean, there's no more ink coming out of it, but it keeps it off of the pillowcase. Yeah, it weeps for a little while. Yeah. It's.
Well, I mean, I for the record, I have no tattoos on my body, but as I've gotten a little bit older and become a little more single and available, I have thought about the idea of you should maybe get one tattoo or start something small. Like, part of me just wants to jump off the cliff and just dive head first and get a whole sleeve. Like, just do a whole sleeve. Not necessarily in one sitting.
Yeah.
but like ultimately, like from the shoulder all the way down, which I hear right in here hurts which I probably wouldn't do right there on the bone because there's nothing but bone. But I've also heard kind of under here, right in that area hurts very much. Yeah, that area right there. But the when I've talked to individuals about that, friends and whatnot, never family because they would be like, "What are you doing?" But
Yeah.
the question I'm always asked is, "Well, what would you get?" And of course, that's the $1 million question, right? If you're going to get a tattoo, you have to have something that you want tattooed on your body.
Yep.
And I can't give a very good answer. So therefore, until I can, there are no tattoos. And there will probably continue to be no tattoos because I can't exactly determine what I want or would want to have for, I consider a tattoo permanent. If I had one, I wouldn't remove it. And being the age that I am, it's probably not. It's probably not something I'm going to do. But I like the idea of like a sleeve, but I don't. I'm probably too old for that.
Well, you're not. But here's my suggestion is if there's never put someone's name. Your children's birth dates, I see that all the time. I find that very respectful.
It's all cliche.
Yeah, it's a little cliche, but I understand.
I don't need to have a calendar reminder on my arm. I've got my iPhone.
Your notifications are turned on. I get it.
They are. It lets me know.
But like for mine, I'm from Atlanta. I'm a huge Outkast fan. I'm a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. Like I grew up in Atlanta in the '90s when Outkast was coming about. So for me, having some sort of representation on my body, this was and a hatchet because I'm a Braves fan, and so I know there's the tomahawk, but it's copyright infringement, I guess. But I like it, and they say that when you get a tattoo, it always happens in threes. You almost all, like everyone always says, you get 3 tattoos. You wind up getting 3 tattoos. So I've gotten this is now my 3rd. And no, the back of my above my butt crack is not there is no tattoo there. I had gotten a cross on my.
No tramp stamp.
Yeah, no tramp stamp here. But I've actually already started working on the idea for the 4th tattoo.
But that begs the question: if you jump off the diving board and land on 4, does that put you ultimately capping out at 6 since they come in 3? So so once you start a new cycle, you got to go full circle.
Yes, yeah, and I plan on doing it. And like I said, I think with Thad over at the toy shop, toy ink shop in Red Bank, I think he is a fantastic artist, and I will say, Brock, if you ever do decide to get a tattoo, and you leave the artwork design up to the artist. Let them be the artists. Your body is their canvas. Let them just work until they consider their work done, because things like this are what will turn out. As far I love what he did. So it's that's my suggestion. I had a 4-hour session on Friday that turned into a 7-hour session. Because as soon as we crossed over into like the 4 hours and 30 minutes and then the 5 hours, I was like, I got to remember what people tell me. If the artist is working and he's not caring about how much time is going, or the artist is, they're not caring about how much time is being spent, just let them keep going. Because ultimately that's how the best work turns out. So. Yeah, the Toy Ink Shop over in Red Bank, South Carolina, Lexington, South Carolina. Fantastic work. I absolutely love it. Last thing I was going to mention was Caroline Leavitt is leaving the White House at the end of August.
I saw that today. I want to go back to "Your Body is Their Canvas." That just screamed like Red Dragon, Hannibal Lecter type vibes, and I'm just like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I did see that came across the newswire today that she was leaving. I guess she met her quota of lies to tell on behalf of the president.
She surpassed because we had Spencer in the first term, and then there was somebody else who served as his press secretary, and then the woman that is now the governor of Arkansas, I think she wound up being Sanders. And I think she served out the rest of the time. So during his first term, he had 3. Now, Spencer, if I'm saying his name right,
Sean Spencer, wasn't it?
Sean's, or was it Spicer?
Spicer,
that's what it was.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy did a great impersonation on SNL, riding that podium around. Oh, that was so fun. We should pull that up next week and watch that.
That was great.
That's great, yeah.
But he wasn't. I think he was not there very long. I think during Trump's first term, like, he went through more press secretaries than any president in recent history had gone through.
It's not unusual for them to have a couple, I think, during their term. I mean, I know Jen Psaki, I think I'm saying her name right, was one for Biden, but I'm pretty sure he had another one. Oh, Trump also had that Kaylee.
The one that's on Fox News now.
That good-looking blonde. Kaylee, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. So
go.
Caroline Leavitt is absolutely going to be recognized as one of the most trusted Trump aides. I don't know that you could really. I often just go through. I often question whether or not, as a Trump press secretary, do they absolutely fully believe everything that they're saying, or are they just really good actors? And I think I could say that for all press secretaries, not just Trump's, because they can only really give out the information that is truly available from the president's office. So I don't know. Leavitt said she cannot be the best mom of her 2 young children, the mom that they deserve, while devoting the constant time, energy, attention required to being the White House press secretary. So she was there for just over 18 months, and hers is now the second longest tenure of any Trump press secretary, behind only Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who held the job for nearly 2 years in Trump's first term. So
then turned it into a
governorship.
A governorship,
gubernatorialship.
You can't ask for better press coverage than being the press secretary, which basically you get to address the country. These aren't apparently going to work today. You get to address the country on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not be well known?
Transitioning to last one, Trump hides in a catering truck to get onto a secret flight out of Turkey last month. So news broke this week that Trump last month was whisked out of Turkey on a very secret military aircraft in an elaborate plot to keep his location secret amid security fears tied to the Iran war. This was first reported by the Washington Post. Apparently, a catering truck pulled away from Air Force One about 5 minutes after Trump boarded. So there is video evidence of Trump climbing into this catering truck and then being driven away. Apparently, he was not the only one that was in this catering truck. His assistant, who they now, the woman that he has with him 24 hours a day, who apparently, it's being reported, has some sort of a zapper or something. She has to stand close to him during press conferences and things, and when he starts to fall asleep, apparently she is zapping him back awake. It's an interesting little tidbit of information.
He is 80.
Well, he is 80, and he is sundowning. So, yeah, his brain is literally deteriorating in front of us. He is the best case study for the effects of dementia of anyone in the history. He's doing it for us publicly, and I think people should be appreciative of the fact that he is our dementia guinea pig. I think it's fantastic.
Well, the only thing that I find fascinating about that story is the type of truck he decided to get on. Of course he got on a catering truck. Of course he did. You
It
know,
didn't
and it
have.
was probably full of Big Macs and
I was gonna
KFC
say.
buckets
I was gonna
and,
say.
you know, plenty of ketchup and mayonnaise and whatever other condiments that he likes. Reminds me when he invited the Clemson football national championship team
Oh
to a
yeah.
smorgasbord in the White House dinner, and it was Big Macs and quarter pounders and McChickens or something.
Yeah. So and I'll say this real quick before we get off, but one of the greatest things that I learned about that Clemson championship McDonald's dinner at the White House was, and of course we live here in South Carolina, so chances are you know somebody who knows somebody that was at that dinner, or you know there's a 6 degree of separation potentially. And I have a friend who played for USC who is friends with someone on that Clemson championship team, and said that not only was the food cold, but in some case, but so the food was cold, but the drinks were all warm. The staged photo of Trump standing in front of all of the food, apparently most of that was it had been delivered hours before Clemson was received by the White House to actually eat. So Clemson football players from the championship team that year that ate dinner at the White House with the president ate cold McDonald's, which sounds disgusting.
Well, I'll say this. I am a fan of cold food. I will take leftovers and stick them in the refrigerator the night before and then eat them for breakfast the next morning, just right out of the fridge cold. Now, of course, that's like really cold and, you know, not been sitting out for hours upon hours contracting who knows what. But if I were to reach into my refrigerator and pull out a quarter pounder from the night before and eat it the next morning cold, it would probably be it would pass the test for me. That wouldn't faze me.
Sure.
What the more concerning part of your story would be the warm drink. Now that would be disgusting. They probably were watered down and warm. That's like going to Europe and drinking a room temperature or warm beer. It just sounds disgusting in every sense of the word. So eating a cold burger, not a problem. It's McDonald's. It's kind of like the Twinkie of fast food. It would survive the nuclear war, and you know you could probably still eat them 6 months later. Wouldn't kill you. Might not be the most nutritious, but certainly wouldn't kill you. Food doesn't bother me so much. Disappointing if they had fries, because hot McDonald's fries right out of the vat. I mean, I don't really know if you can beat them. I mean, they're pretty damn good.
They're good hot, yeah. But cold
Cold
McDonald's
fries would be very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I don't even like microwaving McDonald's fries. I don't
Oh, no,
think
if,
they pass
if
the
you want to
microwave
reheat them, you
test.
got to go air fry.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but they're
Absolutely.
good. Right, fresh out the hopper into the little carton. Yeah, they're fantastic. Some of the best fries out there. Cold fries, awful.
Yeah.
Know? So
and ultimately, I'll be honest, I don't know actually like what level of heat or cold McDonald's improves or gets worse because it's McDonald's. But you know, it's okay. They're not a sponsor either. But you know, it's not. I think most people would argue that it's not even really food. There are people that have stored a McDonald's hamburger for like 10 years, and it looks exactly. It's not molded.
Doesn't grow any mold. Exactly. Yeah, I've seen those.
So I'd have to argue that at least from a chemical standpoint, I don't know that you could argue that it's actually food. Is it substance? Yeah, I'll give you that. It'll fill your stomach, but is it, you know, something nutritious? I would argue that it isn't, and I will continue to give my daughters McDonald's on a Sunday every time. So
you know what, Barrett? Sometimes it's just better to have them eat than not.
That is correct. Well, on that, we will wrap it up. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget you can follow me at Barrett Gruber across all social media. Check out SodaCityComicCon.com for tickets to the upcoming August 22nd and 23rd Soda City Comic Con here in Columbia, South Carolina at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Lots of guests that you're absolutely going to want to check out. The whole schedule for the panels is out there, so you can check that out. You can take pictures there. You have all the information is available there at SodaCityComicCon.com. Brock will be there running around, ignoring me probably, But
No.
hey, is the last question? I guess I'll ask real quick before we wrap it up. Is the 501st going to be there this week? Next week?
Yeah, but don't call them the 500 first. Call them the 50 first.
The 501st. Sorry,
Yeah.
501st. I know. They shoot at me
they'll be
the
there.
whole week.
Yeah, they'll be there.
All right. Sounds great. It's going to be an awesome event. SodaCityComicCon.com for tickets. VIP tickets still available, so do that now. All right. If you can, give us a 5-star review, leave us a comment. Until next time, you all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself.